Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to DRS Season 15. The penultimate round this evening here from Miami in the United States of America. I do apologise if I sound a bit rough this evening. I have just spent about 2 days struggling through a bit of a... well, I don't know how I can describe it, but it was a really rough illness basically. Good news is I'm on the up, so that's a good sign. So, let's start with, first of all, sharing the stream link. Okay, there we go. Stream link is now in. There's a yellow flag. 50 chance being disqualified from the session. Haven't a clue what's happened there. Look, really, I don't know what happened there. I can assume he was parked in the pit exit for ages. But anyway, here come the first few laps of the session here in Miami. Oh. So, let's start with... Michael, who has set a 1:28.654 to get us going here. But Senna immediately going better, 26.699. Let's actually scroll for a way through the field here. Here comes. He's now officially been crowned champion after being forced to wait a few days, well, a week or two because of the Monaco situation. But he's finally been crowned. Here is the the new. What's the word? I'll know the word when it comes to my head. The champion-elect, that's the one. And meanwhile, here he comes with a 25.994 to get himself going in this session. Finley pops himself into third with a 27.552. We'll jump onto Shawnee P here as he comes through the final two corners. Puts himself fifth with a 27.945. We'll take a look here. Smug get up to second already. Fair. With a 26.4, only about 2/10 quicker than Senna at the moment. And let me just go back and check some championship standings real quick. Because I want to just be sure of something before I say it. I even say Senna's the vice champion elect. 60 points is the difference between him and Central Finley in third in the overall. Oh, it's only taken me to now to realise how rough do I sound. We're gonna still get out though, I think. We're down here, take a look at Terry's Reds, who's just started the lap. Going through turns 2 and 3 there. Into a little S section here, which is at the end of Sector 1. I can never remember what the sector points are on the circuit. But it's apparently purple, don't know if that's just because we haven't got time to compare against. Through the little chicane at towards the end of Sector 2. Onto the long back straight now. Gonna be hard on the brakes for the hairpin at the end of it now. Turn 17. A little left right through 18 and 19 to finish the lap. And Terry's is going to be 7th. How about Swanson? Swanson just coming through the end of Sector 1. Here he comes through the final set, few corners. Where is Swanson going to put himself at the end of his first lap? He's going to go up to 5th, 127.188. Let's see, Senna's immediately gone on for another run, and he's gone ahead of Smug. He set a 26.0. Not too far for Jack Downs this time from his first run, but I think Jack Downs is on a lap right now. There he is. It's about 400 up as they come. Well, at least when we on the last split before we got to him. Looking very tidy through the tight and twisty chicanes section there. And onto that back straight. Let's take a little look through the field. Here comes Finlay coming into this very technical section here. Turns 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, into 16 there. The kind of, it's more than 90 degrees really, onto the back straight. Easy Life, I think he's having a few connection issues, he's just rejoined us. Around that final hairpin, where will Finley put himself? Finley goes back up to 5th. Oh, it's getting very, very close around there. 27.034 for the Mercedes driver. Simon not too far behind with a 27.097. I forgot to mention Jack Downs' new time of 25.739. So with 5 minutes left in this session, everyone just finishing their second run. Sloth up to 9th at the end of their second run. And looking at the time so far, it seems very, very spread out between the top 5. Then from 5th down a bit, it's very, very close. There's a yellow flag, sector 2, I think that might be Finley just returning to the pits. See Shawnee P's going to do one more run. I take it this will be his final run with the time we've got left in the session. Saved by else. Swanson's out for another lap. Any movement in the garage? Easy Life trying to get a lap in. Obviously some issues have prevented them from getting one in so far, but it seems wherever it is they've solved it and they're going to try and get at least one lap in before the end of the session. Sainsy currently, oh, it's invalidated. I can see everyone's starting to come out the pits on their final run. They might interfere with Easy Life a little bit. We'll see. I think he's gone a little bit deep at the end of sector 1 there. He's going to get a nice slipstream off of Senna maybe. Or no, Senna gets out of the way. Illegal blocking penalty to Swanson. No idea what's happened there. We'll follow Easy Life as he just comes through the end of sector 2 there. Senna warming up in the background. There comes the Alpine driver through the final hairpin. Through the little left right. All the way to the line. It's going to be 12th. 27.954. Let's take a quick look through the field. Finley's coming through the end of sector 1 here. What's his sector times looking like? It's about 300s quicker. Probably getting a little bit of a toe off of Senna just ahead of him. Senna retires from the session. Okay. I'm only assuming he invalidated the lap, but... Well, Finley's still improving the lap. He looked about a tenth and a half quicker through sector 2. Where's Jack Downs compared to us? I think he's just behind us on the track map. So as soon as Finley crosses the line, we will move back and have a look. As Finley comes through the left right onto the start finish straight, he's going to stay 6th. A time improvement to a 26.879. Where's Jack Downs? We've gone too far. A 25.592 for Jack Daniels, the champion elect. And Terry's Red's up to 3rd on that last run, I think. Just waiting on Lord Coleman. He's looking about 2.5 tenths quicker through sector 2. Here he comes to the line. He's 4th, just behind his teammate for this evening, Terry's Reds. Terry's Reds being a reserve driver, and the usual Ferrari, well, the usual second Ferrari being Mr. Pickle, not with us this evening. So, at the end of the penultimate qualifying of the season, Jack Daniels once again on pole, this time by nearly half a second to Senna. They got a Ferrari lockout on row 2, Terry's Reds and Lord Coleman. Smuggett, Central Finley, Sloth, DRS Syme, Swanson, Sainsey finishing off the top 10. Swanson does have that 5th place grid penalty. Shawnee P, Michael JFF, Easy Life and 50 Gent. Obviously 50 Gent getting disqualified earlier in the session. So now I think it's about time for me to do the standings rundown. Obviously you've heard me mention that Jack Daniels, champion elect, he has a 55-point gap over Senna going into tonight's race. Obviously that means he cannot be beaten in the remaining 2 rounds. Central Finley 60 points behind Senna in 3rd. Obviously that means that Senna is confirmed 2nd for this season. There's still a battle for 3rd place, although it might not be by the end of this evening. Mr. Pickle, who isn't racing with us this evening, 14 points behind Finley. Although Swanson, who is racing with us, 20 points behind Finley, still has a chance at threatening for 3rd place. Oh, and Lord Coleman too. Forgot about that. In the Teams Championship, 47 points separate Alpine and Ferrari. with Haas and McLaren Haas 5 points behind them. McLaren a further 5 points behind Haas. I think by the end of tonight's racing, I think we're going to see an Alpine Teams Championship, as long as we don't see any sort of dramatics like we did last week. In the Pro Split, 37 points separate Finley and Mr. Pickle. Smugget 6 points behind Mr. Pickle. It's probably, again, that's probably going to be a done championship by the end of tonight's race. Although Smugget could have a bit of a say in it if anything happens to Central Finley. In the Pro-Ams, 9 points separate the Sloth and Lord Coleman at the top. In that one, Sainsy a little bit further behind, 59 points behind Lord Coleman. So it seems it's just going to be between Sloth and Coleman for the end of this one in the Pro-Ams. In Extreme, again, going Jack Downs' way. This time, currently, the gap at the moment, 50 points between him and Senna. Technically still is on. It's going to need a lot of things to go Senna's way this evening. But the Extreme Split is effectively... So the Extreme Championship is effectively done with that 50 point gap at the top. Where's the last one? Amateurs, 4 points separating Easy Life and Michael. 50 Gen, 9 points further back behind Michael. So that one's going to be a very interesting one to keep an eye on as we go into the final 2 rounds of the season. And just while we wait for the guys to get ready on the grid, I'm just going to do my little party reset. And I think we've timed that just right, because I think the formation lap is just about to start. Let's get a bit of a tyre rundown real quick. Mostly mediums, Terry and Sainsy trying the hard tyres. So let's take a little look through the field. Swanson's going a little bit slower than everyone else is at. Just to warm up tyres a bit better, I think. I don't know. But Jack Downs is nearly back at the start-finish line. And Swanson's not even on the back straight yet, so this is going to get interesting. Now come the last few to line up in their grid spots. Well, there's only one more to go after tonight. So if you've still got a championship to go, you gotta do what you can. Here you go, the lights are on. And they're out. And we're away in Miami. And it looks like Jack Daniels has got ahead once again. An amazing start for that champion-elect. Model Ferrari's going a bit deep into turn 1, but looks like everyone's safely through the first few corners there. Shawnee P getting a very good start. He's up to 7th. He's side by side with DRS Smug as they're coming in towards the end of Sector 1. And now at the end of the kind of what would probably be the first DRS straight when we come around next time by. It's still kind of looking like a similar order than when we started with. No dramas for anyone just yet. You can see Sainsy was having a look in the background. We're going to go back to the front. There's Jack Daniels. Leads us home off the first lap. Senna, Lord Coleman's not too far behind. He's just outside the DRS range, but maybe a good run for these next few corners. He could still have that DRS when we get to the straight. I don't think he will though. No, he won't. I don't think he will. But let's take a look here now. Senna's going to have it on Jack Daniels here. Not close for a move yet. Is anybody looking for a move in the background here? You can see 50 Gens and Michael side by side. Swanton trying to get involved too. As they come up towards the chicane. Move back towards the leaders though, because I can see Senna's once again got DRS on Jack Daniels. Coming towards that hairpin at the end of the circuit. And Senna sets the fastest lap of the race. So now, it was a yellow flag sector 1. I think Michael's had a bit of a moment coming through turn 3 there. And if we could come off the helicam, we could see if he's got any damage. Yeah, it looks like... Does he have any damage? Doesn't look like there's any damage, but he's going a bit slowly. But notice the gap between Jack Daniels and Senna's dropped a bit in the last few moments while we were taking a look at that. Jack Daniels going to the inside to defend. Senna goes through on the right. And Senna into the lead through the hairpin. So now it's Jack Daniels' turn to chase around the Miami International Autodrome. We'll move a bit further back. Let's see what's going on in the midfield here. Got a bit of a battle on between the two Ferraris. Terry's red. Tonight's reserve driver in the other Ferrari seat flies past his temporary teammate. And he's up to third place now. It seems Finley and Smudgate just getting caught in that little DRS train, really. That's the only way I can describe it for them in their situation. Time having to hold off from Shawnee P and the Sloth for the time being. Swanson up to 10th after that penalty on the grid. He's currently ahead of 50 Gen Easy Life. Sainsy not too far behind. Then go back to the front here for a moment because Jack Stans is going to have DRS here on Senna. Rapidly gaining with it. Flies past on the inside and he's ahead as they turn in to the very technical section here in Sector 2. However, Senna's going to probably get another chance to come back. Here he comes. And he's straight through. Almost no defence for Jax Daniels right there. That's kind of one of the downsides of this circuit, is that if you've got someone in your DRS behind you, apart from this start finish straight, there's almost no defending for it. Smugget coming in early off the mediums onto the hards. Interesting call from the McLaren there. Same decision for Easy Life as well. Now what we're going to see of these two again as they come down along this kind of curve straight. No move for Jack Daniels there. On board with the champion-elect right here as he hunts down Senna, getting very close, and he's not going to go for the move. We'll come back to these two Ferraris here. It did look like Coleman was struggling with his tyres for a second there. I don't know if that's just the mediums not lasting long around Miami, or if that was just a moment on the throttle. Oh, there's a spin. I think that's Jack Stiles who's gone round when he exited against turn 8. Well, now the Ferraris that were battling for the third there. They're now battling for second. As Terry goes a little bit deep into turn 17 there. Coleman looks like he's coming in early. Simon getting a speeding penalty in the pit lane there. That'll be 10 seconds added onto his race time. Senna also boxing at that time as well. We completely missed. Jack Daniels looking for the move on. Sancha Finley he's through as they go into turn 11, 12 and I'm sure one of them just hit the wall as they were going through 13. It seems Jack Daniels, he's struggling for a little bit of grip as Finley comes into the pits. But he looked like he was struggling for a bit of traction on the exit of the hairpin there. Could that be a bit of a tell to how these tyres are performing in the race? If it is, it's not really affecting him much because he has gained time on Terry's reds. He's already pulled about half a second from... In fact, he's pulled in nearly a bit more. But another thing we're going to have to keep an eye on is the gap to Senna, because obviously when Jack Daniels pits, we're going to need to measure his gap versus Senna. I know the gap was a bit apart when Senna came in, but it'll be something to keep an eye on. You see the gap. Unfortunately for Jack Daniels, the gap is decreasing either side for him. He's gaining on Terry, but Senna's also gaining on him, so it's not an ideal situation for him at the moment. Now I wonder, is Jack Daniels trying to deal one stop in this race? to my knowledge, the only drivers still on the medium tyres that they started with. Some drivers have done medium to medium, some drivers have done medium to hard. Or in Sainz's case, some have done hard to hard, I think. As Jack Daniels gets through on Terry's Reds. I'll be interested to see if the one stop is the plan for Jack Daniels. How does it work? Now Senna's through on Terry's Reds. Now we got to keep an eye on the Alpine we are watching right now. He's going to stay out for a bit longer. I think he's really going to try that one stop. Now Terry's into the pits, only getting 10 laps out of the hards. Is that a sign to the other drivers that maybe a 2-stop is the option? The hards aren't going as long as you expected to. Let's be real, 10 laps in the hards, with a 29 lap race, you're basically doing 10 on the hards, or at least one 10 lap stint on the hards. And you're probably gonna have to do at least a couple 9 lap stints on the mediums, or a 9 lap stint on the mediums or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the greatest strategic brain, nor do I know how to make tyres last long. But it's something to think about. Terry's come out down about 7th. Kind of stuck in a battle between Swanson, Syme, Shawnee and the Sloth. However, we've just seen now, Senna gets through on Jack Daniels to retake the race lead on the road. And he's now decided to come into the pits. There's going to be hard tyres for the champion-elect. Looks like he's going to come out at a similar pace to what Terry's did just now. So now everyone's done at least one stop in this race. Now it'll be interesting to see what Jack Daniels does from here in this race. Yep. Now Senna currently has an 8.2 second lead at the top of this race. Smugget looking for a move for second. Oh, there's a bit of contact maybe between the McLaren and Coleman's Ferrari. Both safely through, however. Now Smugit trying again to get that second place. This time it looks like he's got it done, but Coleman's not going to give it up easy. They're side by side at the end of the lap. Coleman looks like he's just holding on, and he has stolen the DRS while doing so. While we're watching that, Jack Daniels sets the new fastest lap of the race at 29.3. Just have a bit of a rotate through the field just to see how everyone's getting on. There's a yellow flag. I think that's at the hairpin. Something's happened to Smug Git there. He's gone off at the hairpin. Doesn't seem to be any damage, at least not visually. Let's take a look at this, because Central Finley's closed the gap on Lord Coleman here. But look who's rapidly approaching these guys. Jack Daniels now. This could get interesting if he's planning to get the one stop done. I don't really see. I think the only thing that could stop him. I've seen a lot of people only getting 10 laps out of these, a maximum of 10 laps out of the hards. So unless the plan is to get to 10 laps on the hards, a very, very short stint on the mediums at the end, I haven't a clue. And he comes up the inside of Central Finley into turn 11 with the DRS assistance. And now his next target is Lord Coleman to take P2. And there he goes, up the inside, into the hairpin. And he seems to have got the move done, as Lord Coleman comes back into the pits now. Now this is interesting because Coleman's only done 9 laps in them hards. Shawnee P has come in as well to put some hard tyres on. Is Senna now back into the pits after 10 laps on the hards. And Finley also in after 9 laps on his. So unless Jack Downs is looking to take easy care of his hard tyres, I don't see him staying. I don't think that one stop's going to work. Swifty Jan gets a 10-second speeding penalty in the pits. I've noticed Syme has come back in and served his time penalty from earlier. Oh. I mean, what was interesting was Jack Downs did extend the mediums a bit longer than everyone else did, so maybe he does have some sort of magical power to make these tyres go longer than what everyone else can. And if he does have such powers, can he please teach them to me immediately? I'm only joking about that, don't worry. And now Senna on the back of Terry's Reds now. Probably move isn't far away here for Senna. So there's a yellow flag, and I think it's involving Senna's teammate 50 Gent. Cruising towards the pit lane there. Has there been a bit of an incident with DRS Syme maybe? No, I don't know what happened between them two, but I can only assume there's a bit of contact, given that both have come in roughly similar times. A few more drivers into the pits now. We've got Sainsy, Michael JFF. Shawnee P now gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Looks to have happened in the last section towards the end of Sector 1 there. Looking at his positioning on the map. Terry's Reds back into the pits after 9 laps on those hard tyres. Now Jack Daniels has done the same amount of laps but has kept going. So this is going to get interesting now for the champion-elect. I don't think they'll be happy with me showing this, but I'm going to put telemetry up. But is there anything we noticed with his throttle and brake tracing that might be of use? We can tell them to be both using very minimal you go there. Oh, I apologise. Yeah, both very low on that ERS battery. Can you notice anything about his braking? Looking very tidy, I'll tell him that. Same for Senna, that looks pretty tidy. So now these are going to be the laps that will surely make or break the race for Jack Daniels. So he ideally needs to get another 7 laps or so out of these tyres. I mean, he does have Senna breathing down his neck. Most of that will be new tyre difference, but his Jack Daniels maybe concede the fact that he may not win. We're probably just more worried about getting the one stop done and not dropping to 3rd or lower. Now it's going to get interesting between these two because one of their tyre differences. Also their previous experiences this season. Ooh, while I think about it, I haven't told you guys about the stewarding report from last week. Where is it? Senna, the incident between Senna and Jack Daniels, when there was a bit of contact between them, that was ruled no further action. Similar incident between Swanson and Jack Daniels, no further action. However, Swanson did take 3 penalty points for dangerous driving. To which those penalty points are active for 12 rounds. Now here they go. Senna's now got DRS again from Jack Daniels. It's probably going to be an easy move whenever it gets done. Oh, it's a bit of a wiggle for Senna as he comes through turn 1. Now, if I had to assume, I think Jack Daniels has basically locked himself into staying out to the end of this race now. Like, I'd say he's pretty much committed to it. It was a bit of a lock-up for Senna as he tried to move. I wonder if maybe Jack Daniels does have enough still left in those tyres to try and take some fight to Senna here. Because he's holding on much better than I expected him to. He's still not close enough to make a move, but he's going to get the wings, the front and rear wings very, very close there as they came into turn 11. Now Easy Life has rejoined us. I think he's again still having some connection issues. And now Senna seems to have taken the lead and he's kept hold of it now. Jack Daniels still on his diffuser. Gonna have DRS, he's gonna look to the inside, he's always on the pit wall as they come into turn 1. Oh, as Jack Daniels goes a bit deep. And it looks like Senna's gonna keep hold of the lead and he's probably... And looking at the time lost by Jack Daniels during all that, I think that is game, set and match. I think that's the saying in tennis, which is ironic because there is a tennis tournament held at the Hard Rock Stadium. Is there anything else going on in the field just whilst there's a bit of a quiet moment between them two? We got Lord Coleman hunting down Finley for 3rd place. I'm pretty sure this is going to have some pretty sure it's going to have some overall championship effect, maybe. Jack Daniels boxes again onto softs. I gotta assume that those halves were just too warm to continue on. I thought it was a big ask for him to try and do a one stop, but could still recover to fourth. Using soft tyres against some worn mediums and hard drives in front of him. First one he's got to pick off is Smug Git in the McLaren. Or he might even do two at once. He might even do three wide. There's a bit of a banging of wheels between Smug Git. Oh. Did Jack Steins go off the circuit there? I think he might get looked at that move. Easy Life gets a 10-second speeding penalty now. But no, that looked a little bit too close to call, that move by Jack Daniels. Going to move back up to Coleman and Finley as the other Alpine of Easy Life comes out the pit in front of him. Whether he'll have an effect on this fight, we don't know. We will see. But look how far ahead Senna is. Senna is already through that DRS. He's already basically on the DRS straight, really, of into turn 11 and 12. We're going to have to step away from those battles for a moment to come back to Senna. Unfortunately, not the season either liked, losing, not being able to defend the championship, but he's rebounded well as he takes the win here in Miami. And looks like Finley's just going to hold on to second place. Jack Stearns is going to come home fourth. And Terry's Reds might just hold on to fifth place here. As they come through the final few corners and across the line. And DRS Swanton, a really good recovery after starting at the back due to a penalty in qualifying. He's done well to recover up to 7th place here. He's going to bring home Sloth, Sainsy and Shawnee to the line. Go on, Michael, just behind him. Now we see the drivers on that little podium. It's a bit of a unique one here. They don't have it on the pit building. They have it on the opposite side of the Hard Rock Stadium. And if nothing else, you'll see it. But you can kind of see the little straight between turn 3 and turn 4 there, just in the background. So, one more race to go here in DRS for season 15. Senna brings home the Miami Grand Prix in first place. Sancho Finley and Local 1 finishing off the podium. Jack Daniels, he tried that one stop, couldn't make it work, comes in 4th. Terry's Reds in the reserve role for this evening in 5th. Smugget, Swanton Bomb, Sloth, Michael GFF and Sainsy finish out the points. Shawnee, Syme, Easy Life from 50 Gen just outside. And thankfully, no DNFs. I'm going to try and keep the outro short tonight because, well, if you weren't with me for the intro earlier, I've been dealing with a bit of a illness the last few days. I've basically been sapped of all my energy for about 3 days now. Luckily, I'm getting better, so anyway, I'm going to keep the outro. I said I was going to keep the outro short, so I'm going to do exactly that. Thank you all for watching once again. Hopefully we'll see you all next week. The final round, which I believe is... The final round is Silverstone, this time in the forwards layout. Hopefully we'll see you all there next Tuesday, I need to remember the date, the 24th, 8 PM GMT, or whatever the bloody British time zone is. I can't remember what it is this time. Anyway, yep. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next week. Twitch TV /DJ Dabosaurus. Oh, thank you all for watching and good night.